Okay, at the risk of some free advertising and hopefully not infringing on anyone's copyright here or anything, but in the hopes of helping beginners out, this is a product I use, Vitamineral, and sorry, I got the video right up on my face here. Where the heck? Okay, here we go. And here's a list of all the vitamins and minerals, and perhaps it's because I don't read Dutch very well, but there is a listing in English, but it's sort of comparatively part English and part Dutch, it almost seems. So natrium is salt. They gotta have salt, but remember I mentioned chicken pellets to you guys. Chicken pellets has your salt in it. The one thing I do lack seeing here is iron. Alright, so this is a favorite product of mine. The pigeons love it, especially during breeding season. This product here from Jed's, it says right there, in health and necessity, in sickness indispensable. The birds don't gulp it up the way they do the Vitamineral, but it is this pink mineral. There's also black mineral, but this pink mineral has added iron. So this mineral right here is all you need. Alright, now that is not a grit. It's kind of gritty, but it's not grit. Okay, it's a mineral supplement. Okay. This, on the other hand, is grit. This is called coral grit. Sorry. And you can see the fairly larger pieces. There's red brick in there and oyster shell and I don't know, who knows what all else. Okay. Again, natural product. I get this from the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union along with the Vitamineral. And I want to say right now, you don't need this, but it's a really good product. But you can just go to your UFA store and get yourself ordinary just grit, calcium carbonate grit. That's my mainstay product. This stuff, by the time you ship it here, it's not cheap, okay? You're going to probably pay $12 for this 2.5 kilogram bag because it's heavy and the shipping costs get obnoxious, alright? Okay, now I rarely use medicines. Keep your birds happy and healthy, and you won't have to use medicines, alright? But in the event that you use medicines, these are two indispensable medicines. And again, I got these from Jed's. I get a lot of products from the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union, and if you can get stuff from the American Racing Pigeon Union. But I can tell you right now, Jed's will ship pretty much anywhere in the world, and I've been very pleased with their service, alright? And this MedPet 4-in-1 and the Metazole is especially for canker, and you really need the Metazole, not just this by itself. Use 1 teaspoon of the 4-in-1 powder to 2.5 teaspoons of this Metazole per gallon of water, okay? And treat them for a good 7 days. Now when you're done that, you're absolutely going to have to give them vitamins and minerals, alright? You don't want to be without vitamins and minerals. Now, this is the Mount Laval 12 I talked to you guys about, fortified with iron. You see that? You can use as little as 1 capful. Just use the cap that's on top to a gallon of water, or as I've given as much as 4 and never had a instance problem. Okay, see if we can focus in here for you. There's the nutrients that are in that. And notice the iron. Okay, very, very, very good stuff. Has a little bit of alcohol in it, but don't worry about that. It isn't going to bother your pigeons. There's my standard feed mix. I'm using probably 50% corn in it, and then maybe 25% barley and a little tiny bit of chicken pellet, and the rest wheat, okay? If this bag of chicken pellet had a little bit more powder in it than I would like to have had, but oh well, it's still nice and clean. It's just was getting towards the bottom of their bin, I guess. So I'll talk to them about that. And that's my general food that I feed. Okay? This is calcium carbonate. It's cheap as borscht, and that's your basic grit. That's all you really need as a grit. I mean, the rest of it is supplementation through mineral. Alright? And I'm going to show you guys something else that is going to save you a lot of money. Now this stuff here is just ordinary clay. I dug this out with a shovel. This is a 5-gallon bucket. So I just dug down past until I got to the mineral soils. Now this is full of every type of mineral that your pigeons need. All you need to do is just take a hammer, bang it a bit, and that's it. Add it to your grit. Look at how it ends up anyway. There's lots of stuff there available. And that's what the animals in the bush, the deer and the elk, when you find a lick, that's what they're after. And the reason they're after it, it contains everything. In fact, Native Americans use this all the time. We use it for ailments, and we can use it today for ailments. Just make sure, you know, it's not from an area where it's been contaminated. Nice, clean, old bushy area, not an old landfill site or something. And I mean, that's it. Beautiful. Cheap like borscht. Can't get any cheaper than that. This is my driveway. Now I wouldn't take grit for my driveway. But if you can find a nice clean creek bed in your area, and you can use a little bit of a strainer to get down to, you know, like this size of rock here. Any of these little rocks, not too big. They'll ignore the bigger ones anyway. But find a creek bed in your area, a nice clean creek bed, not a dirty creek bed. You know, you don't want something that's been effluent running off to, and that's the nice thing about the products you buy. They're hopefully selected from good pure areas, but this can be used. Okay, I want to add one note about these type of products here. Don't use these products preventatively, okay? These are not to be used preventatively, they're used to treat, okay? If you suspect, however, that there could be something in your birds, maybe they're showing stress or slimy throat or anything like that, then just go ahead and use it. Don't panic about using them, but and it wouldn't hurt you to use them even a couple times a year. Then I'm saying preventatively, but don't be using them every week or every day of every week, or you're going to run into definite problems. Alright? Now when you're done with these guys, I highly recommend getting a good probiotic type yogurt and adding it to your water. Okay? You can add it quite a bit of it too if you want, like 4 or 5 tablespoons. Won't hurt at all. Okay? And that'll help to put back the bacteria that these things have wiped out, because they certainly are going to wipe out all the bacteria in your pigeon's intestinal tract. Alright? There you go. And one other thing is, I don't have a wormer here, but it's good to have a good dewormer. Okay? Now you can use ivermectin, which is for cattle, and that stuff is not cheap. My guess is go with the MedPet products. That's the best. But ivermectin, 3 milliliters to a gallon of water. You can use it the same ratio in your bath water. It'll delouse your pigeons if they have lice on them. Okay, and also it'll get rid of all roundworms, pinworms and stuff, but it won't kill tapeworm. Alright, and there is areas, if your pigeons get out free range and peck on beetles, the beetles carry the tapeworm. So you're going to need a good dewormer. Don't forget that, okay? Now I hate to tell you guys all these things because I'm trying to get you to, you know, do things cheaply to start out. But as you go along, you're probably going to need some of these type of products. Tossdart.